It's a Tuesday night, 7 p.m. You on the game with your boys. Y'all on a winning streak, haven't lost a single match yet. And then your mom walks through your room telling you to shut it down. You could hear the disappointment from your mic. All your friends talking about something. Man, his mama told me to get off the game. Now we gotta go and invite a random, bruh. Yeah, we've all been there. How many times has that happened to you? Video games is one of those topics where people will always tell you it's a waste of time. They're not doing anything for you. You are wasting your potential. But the thing is that your productivity and your gaming may not be as far apart as people think it might be. So recently I beat Black Myth Wukong. Now, I wouldn't say it was an easy task to accomplish. If anything, I'd probably rank it a bit higher on the difficulty scale, right? But don't worry, I'm not going to talk about any spoilers if you haven't played the game already. I'm just going to point out a few things and how it's helped improve certain aspects of my life. So obviously with these types of games, there's quite a few tasks that you have to do, right? There's different quests, there's a lot of bosses you have to fight, but you can't just use the same trick for every encounter, right? You can't just use pluck a mini for every enemy. You'll lose, you see, unless you adapt, because that's how it's supposed to be. So adapting and changing your playstyle depending on what boss you're fighting against is going to be very key. It's kind of like how when we're younger, we draw a bunch of stick figures of people, right? Instead of, super detailed drawings. We start off with just the most basic lines that we could think of at that time. And eventually, if we want to make more accurate portraits of people, we have to adjust our lines and how we lay them down on the page to make them more accurate. And this happens as we grow older and we upgrade our techniques and learn from our experience. It creates this grinding mentality of you have to continuously do something in order to get the rewards from it, right? So let's say you want to get better at drawing hair, you're going to collect and gather as much information as you can from YouTube videos, and you're going to keep grinding and practicing until you get the reward of it, which would be in this case being able to draw better hair. I bring this up because in Black Myth Wukong and games similar like it, you are not necessarily forced, in a way kind of forced. You got to go out and gather materials in order to upgrade your armor and your weapons if you want to get stronger as the game progresses. Because I'm not gonna lie, there's definitely some bosses where if you don't upgrade your gear, you will get waxed. So you have to spend the time grinding out, gathering those materials in order to get stronger and upgrade yourself. And obviously you have your skill tree, which is debatably the most important part. And it's easy to see what things you need to focus on once you could visually see it. Because the skill tree will show you different techniques, and obviously when you get different points, you could put that into upgrading that specific technique or skill. It's a lot harder to do that in real life once you don't have that visual representation of it in front of you. So it's going to sound kind of basic when I say this, but the best way to go about it is whatever hobby that you have, sit down and write a list of things that goes into that hobby. So whatever skills or techniques that you've learned along the process of actually doing it. And if you have a upcoming project, like let's say you're a concept artist and you have to work on a costume design, and the costume's supposed to be like a medieval era, obviously the skill that you want to focus on upgrading is the metal and the armor. You want to be able to paint believable metal. So you don't want to deviate away and worry about getting better at backgrounds, because that doesn't make any sense. Your focus points should be going into upgrading your skill in painting better armor. These combinations of things start to make you develop a never giving up type of mentality, because you're not gonna give up on a boss fight just because it was too difficult. No, you've worked way too hard up until this point. You've put so much time, effort, and energy into upgrading your skill set, learning your moves, unlocking new spells. Like you've done way too much up until this point to just throw in the towel and quit, basically, just because, stuff got kind of difficult. Once you start to build at it, it transfers over into quite literally all aspects of your life by that point. Because let's say you're trying to get a promotion at your job, just because you got turned down one time doesn't mean that you're gonna not try again. No, you're gonna work even harder to try to improve and try to get that promotion again. So you start to build this never give up type of mentality, and it sticks with you, no matter what you're doing or where you are. The thing that I like most about this is you're able to choose how the journey wants to go for you. So if you wanted to, you could just go from start to finish and not worry about completing any extra task along the way. You could just finish it as quick as possible if you so choose to. However, if you want to deviate from the path a little bit, then the game rewards you for doing that. You unlock new gear, better gear, and you're able to learn and acquire more skill points so you could upgrade your skill tree. So this goes back into like it's more about the journey and not the destination. And I know as cliche as that sounds, I really do believe that it is more important for you to learn and gain as much experience as possible from the journey before you even reach your final destination. Because once you're there, it's over. You beat the game, the goal's completed. You know what I mean? But if you're able to collect as much as possible along the way, why not? Because once it's over, it's over. Are you really going to feel completely accomplished once you close out of the game and you see that 100% completion on your screen? Do you really feel like you did everything that you can, or did you just kind of rush through it? But that's the beauty of it, because you could really choose how the journey goes for you. Granted, you can't change the difficulty, that's already set in stone, but that's life though. You can't change the difficulty mode on life. It's hard. It's supposed to be hard. If it was easy, everybody would be rich. Let's be real here. I hope this made sense. I wasn't trying to confuse you or anything like that. I just wanted to give a little bit more insight on what I've learned after completing Black Myth Wukong. It gave me very similar vibes to like a combination of Elden Ring and God of War, which I like both of those games a lot. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about it real quick. And I might do something like this in the future. We'll see. But other than that, that's pretty much all I got. You already know what I'm about to say. If you like the video, go ahead and share it. Come on.